Welcome back to another markets update video. Today I'm going to be taking you through Dubai Hills and we're going to pay attention to Maple 1, 2 and 3. We're going to have a look at the 4-bedroom property variants. So we've got the 3M, which is the middle unit in Maple, and we've of course got the 2E, which are the end units available in Maple 1, 2 and 3. So let's have a look at the overview. In terms of rentals, we've seen a total of 56 transactions and they've come in between 91 to 270,000. Of course, the lower numbers are all going to be renewals, prices secured during COVID, and the higher numbers, 270, is a sort of new high for us. Essentially, we've seen a lot of movement. Maybe sort of 2 or 3 months ago, we were at a comfortable position around sort of 230, but prices are seeming to carry on increasing. A lot of owners are asking for slightly more as well, and yeah, it will be interesting to see how that number changes. I still think that from a rental point of view, around 250, 260 is a sort of comfortable number for the market. And of course, what will play a big part is where the property is in the community, how close it is to a pool, if it's a single row property or facing the road, camel track, or of course a back-to-back unit. Now we can see the 6 transactions behind me that have taken place within Maple, and the transactions have happened between 3.3 to 3.7 million. Let's start off with the 3M property variants. If you watched my last video, the market update that I did for the prior 6 weeks to this, you'll know that we saw a transaction come in at 3.1 million. This was a transaction that had come in after seeing a long period of time with no sales of 3M units. So these are the properties that have actually sold. 3.35 million, that's 2,166 square foot, more or less a standard plot size. A great location, so you're very close to the pool and the gym. And you've of course got a single row property, so it's backing a larger green space, a landscape space between the 2 rows of properties. So that's 3.35. We've seen 3.5 million come in. Again, very, very similar, 1 square foot between the 2 properties. This was actually a vacant unit, and this is actually in a very desirable location. So you've got the first green belt, which you will know that is the widest part between the 2 rows of properties. It's very desirable. Of course, it will depend on what you're backing onto. In certain areas, you have community sort of play areas, and in some areas, you just have some really nice landscaping. So that's 3.5 million. Moving over to the last transaction, this 3M, number 567. This one is more or less a back-to-back property because it backs onto the side of that row there, but has good access to this community area. Of course, that's definitely desirable. You can get to the main green belt and of course get to the pool. You're also very, very close to I would say the best part between Maple 2 and 3. This is a really nice green area. Moving over to the 2E property variants, we've seen a decrease in terms of price. Now, last month we saw some really big numbers come in, 4.06 being the highest, and we saw 2 properties sell at that sort of price just on the corner there. So what have we seen? We've seen this transaction here, that's at 3.7 million, standard plot size, just shy of 3,000 square foot. Location, this is backing the camel track. I would say Maple 1 has probably the best camel track view because it's really nicely landscaped. The next one over, as we go into Maple 2, 3.48 million. The likelihood is that this would have been secured sometime before, probably by a mortgage buyer, and it's just got to transfer. Like I said in the last video, all these properties have physically been transferred, not deals agreed. So the deals could have been agreed maybe a month or 2 before. So this is another camel track facing property, slightly bigger plot, so it's just slightly bigger than average, 143,000. That's what the rental value was, and that's rented till November 2022. So likelihood is that's going to just be becoming vacant if the notice was served. Moving over to Maple 3, we have a back-to-back property very close to the sort of entrance, and it's a fair distance away from the pool, but I think it's in a good place where you can get to the park quite easily. You can get into, you know, the main green belt and park area, and then you can get down to the pool. This closed at 3.52 million, standard plot size. I would say it's probably a little bit smaller than standard, but 135,000, that's what the rental was, and that's till April 2023. So, yeah, that will give you a good idea. I think people are asking more for 3.6 to 3.7 million now in terms of new properties that are entering the market. Of course, you know, you've got some properties, that really desirable ones, that are asking sort of close to 4 million. It will be really interesting to see if we actually see some much higher numbers come in over the next 6 weeks. But I think, you know, comfortable range 3.6 to 3.7 is what generally buyers are looking for in the market. But that's it from me regarding this 4-bedroom Maple update. If you have any specific questions, you can find my contact number in the description below. Of course, you can also leave a comment, and hope you have a lovely day. Take care.